Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss steps. What are the steps are required to design the general bearing? So I repeat, what are the steps required to design the general bearing? We are going to discuss. So see here. What are the steps you should require means? So first one, the first step we have to take the L by D ratio. The L by D ratio is very important while calculating the problem or designing the general bearing. So L by D ratio is important. But L by D ratio is given in the problem. If we not mentioned in the problem, we have to assume the L by D ratio. For example, for a centrifugal pump, for a centrifugal pump bearing, for a centrifugal pump bearing, the L by D ratio, the L by D ratio varies from the L by D ratio varies from 1.0 to 2. So 1 to 2, the L by D ratio varies from 1.1 to 2. So you may take in between that. So don't take beyond 2 or don't take below the 1 value. So you have to take beyond the value and you have to assume this. Most of the times we give either D value or A value. With the help of that, we have taken the value. So length is given 100 mm. We have finding the D value by the help of this. So here instead of one, don't take one or two. It take in between the values like 1.2, 1.3, 1. That is helpful while solving the problem. So then we have find the L by D ratio. The second step is we are going to find the bearing pressure. Bearing pressure. So what is bearing pressure? So bearing pressure is denoted by small p. Small p equal to the load. Load times projected area. Load times projected area. Load times projected area. So load times projected area. So it is given by formula W by L into D. L into D. L into D. This is the second step we have to require for designing the problem. And what is the third step? See here the third step. So we need to identify the Z value also. We need to identify the Z value. So what is meant by Z? Z is nothing but dynamic viscosity. Dynamic viscosity. Dynamic viscosity will be given. Dynamic viscosity. Dynamic viscosity also mentioned in the problem. The dynamic viscosity was mentioned. It is denoted by letter Z. So what are the units for this? The units for this is Newton per second, meter square or millimeter square, depend on situation. So I can write Newton per meter as Pascal. Pascal second also having the same notation, same unit. Both are Newton per meter square is nothing but Pascal. So I am writing Pascal second also. This is also being given. This also required while doing the design of general building. That is also plays a prominent role. Now, fourth one is coefficient of friction. Fourth one is coefficient of friction. Coefficient of friction. Coefficient of friction. Coefficient of friction means denoted by letter mu. Denoted by letter mu. So mu equal to, what is the formula for mu? The mu equal to, I am writing this 33.25 by 10 power 8 into Z into ns by small p into d by c. So here Z is nothing but, just now discussing the dynamic viscosity, and ns is nothing but the number of revolutions per second. T is nothing but the bearing pressure, and here D is nothing but the diameter of the shaft, and C is nothing but the diameter of clearance, or radial clearance. Sometimes We have to take either diameter clearance or radial clearance. So depend on the situation, we have to follow. So CD is, I am giving some suffix, let us see CD. Is the, so this is the total value plus we are taking the K factor also. This is a correction factor plus K we are taking the correction factor to find out the coefficient of friction mu. And see, this is the four steps we have done. Now we are going for the fifth step. So I am writing here. So one more design, whatever the factors, parameters we have to consider while doing the general bearing is, that is heat dissipation. Or first we will try to draw the heat generator, then we will go for heat dissipation. So heat generation. So heat generation Hg, heat generation Hg equal to mu into W into velocity, mu into W velocity. So what is mu? Mu is nothing but coefficient of friction. Coefficient of friction. What is W? W is nothing but load. W is nothing but load. So here what is V? V is given already for that velocity. V is nothing but velocity. So what is velocity? The velocity of the bearing. The velocity of the bearing. So we have a separate formula, that is pi d n by 60. Pi d n by 60. So what is the angular velocity when the bearing is rotating like this? So what is the velocity, angular velocity? So V equal to, we are taking pi d n by 60. Non-angular velocity, real velocity. Okay. The heat generation we are completed. Next we are going for the heat dissipation. So after rotating certain RPM, the heat will be generated. Now, if the heat is continuously generated, so we have dissipated. If we don't dissipate it, the wearness and tearness will be occurred to the shaft and bearing. So we are using the same time we are using the power loss also. So that's why we are using the heat dissipation. So heat dissipation is 2 point. Heat dissipation. How the heat will be dissipated? Through applying a lubrication. Heat dissipation HD equal to, I am taking C into A. This is different C, that is a small c here given. This is different C, I will do the letter. So C into capital A into T naught minus, sorry, TD, T suffix small b minus T naught. This is the formula. So what is C here? The coefficient C is nothing but coefficient of dissipation, coefficient of dissipation, heat dissipation. Coefficient of heat dissipation. A is nothing but the projected area again. A is nothing but the projected area. So what is the formula? Projected area is L times D. Projected area L times D. Now TB is nothing but the bearing temperature. TB is nothing but bearing temperature. Bearing temperature, and the T naught, whatever the T naught is there, the T naught indicates the ambient temperature. So ambient temperature or atmospheric temperature. So if you not mentioned in the designs that you have to calculate generally, that is around 25 to 30 degrees. So here we are taking the temperature is around 25 to 30 degrees. 25 to 30 degrees. So HT is given, HT is given, and these are the things we are required by designing the general bearing. Now see here, if H, whatever the heat generation is more compared to the heat dissipation, then we need some artificial cooling. Artificial cooling is must and should. So if HT is more than HT, HG, for example, if HG got the 1000 watts, whatever the heat is dissipated is like 200 watts only. So you are getting we should require some cooling. So for that, some artificial cooling is required. So that artificial cooling formula is, I am writing here, artificial cooling. Artificial cooling is Hg minus Hd. So if you reduce, you will get some watt. So how many watts you are get? You apply that cooling by applying some pump like that. Now see, if Hd is equal to Hg, then there is no need of artificial cooling. One more thing, see here, we can also, the cooling will be done also by applying changing the viscosity, whatever the viscosity of oil is there. For example, let us take the viscosity of oil. The viscosity of oil is SA10. SA10 viscosity is there. So here, by applying the viscosity of oil, the heat dissipated you got is 100 units, the heat generation you got 1000 units. So by changing the viscosity of the oil, for example, I am applying SA10 to 20, 30. So I am increasing the index, whatever the 10, 20 is nothing but the index, so I am increasing the index. Then you can get the normal, whatever the HG value is, the HG value will be less compared to the HG value. But while changing the oil changing is very difficult process. So instead of changing the oil, simply you give artificial cooling by using the pump. So what is SAE is here? SAE is nothing but Society for Automobile Engineers. Society for Automobile Engineers. I am writing here. So Society for Automobile Engineers. So Society for Automobile Engineers. Nothing but SAE. Okay. And at last, so how much mass of cooling should be required? That also be calculated while designing the general bearing. So how much mass of the cooling will be also considered. So to cool that artificial cooling. So these are the steps required for general bearing. So while doing the problem. So I hope you understand this class, and we will go for a problem which is regarding the general bearing. So totally we have 7 steps. The 7 steps should be in your brain. Okay. Then only you will crack this question. So now we are going to do a problem. Yesterday's 2020 problem asked in the JNTU question paper. So I'm writing the shortcuts. You see here, design the general bearing, JB. Design the general bearing for a centrifugal pump. Running at 1440 RPM, and the diameter of general is 100 mm. The diameter of the general is 100 mm, and the load carrying is 20 kilonewtons. Load carrying is 20 kilonewtons, and the factor Zn by P is 28. and the bearing running at a temperature of the bearing running at a temperature of 75 degrees and atmospheric temperature is also measured. Atmospheric temperature is 30 degrees and the energy, the quotient of energy dissipation, the quotient of energy dissipation is mentioned, that is 87.5. Quotient of energy dissipation is mentioned in the problem. How much? 87.5 watt per meter square per degrees. Take diameter clearance. Take diameter clearance. Take diameter clearance is how much? The diameter clearance is 0.1 mm. So this is the question is mentioned in the problem. So see here. So first of all, we write down the solution. So data for this solution. So what is the data is mentioned? The N value is given. So 1400 RPM. So 1440 RPM is mentioned. 1440 RPM is mentioned. Next one, the diameter of the general is mentioned. How much here? Diameter of the general. So that is D. D is mentioned how much? 100 mm. 100 mm is given. And load is also mentioned. W. W is how much? 20 kilonewtons. 20 into 10 power 3 Newton. And Zn by P value is also given in this problem directly. So there is no viscosity, there is bearing pressure, whatever there is here, all will be taken considered. And next, the bearing temperature. The bearing temperature is denoted by TB. So bearing temperature TB is given how much? 75 degrees. 75 degrees. So up to maximum you can take 90 degrees. So if the problem is not mentioned the bearing temperature, then we have to assume as a 90 degrees. In between 85 to 90, the maximum values are that much. That much only you have to take that. Beyond that, the whatever the temperature is beyond that, then the VLS will be occurred. So don't take beyond 90. The problem. And atmospheric pressure also we mentioned. So T naught. T naught is almost 30 degrees. And the coefficient of dissipation C value is given capital C, not small c. I repeat, C value is given how much? 87.5. Now the diameter clearance is given how much? CD. CD is given 0.11 mm. So this is the given data is given. So just now I have discussed what are the steps you should require to solve the general of design. For designing general bearing means the first one is L by D ratio. So L by D ratio is here. So here in the real time application, what is the bearing? V bearing is the centrifugal bearing is given. The centrifugal pump bearing. The centrifugal pump bearing is given. For centrifugal pump bearing, we have to know the values L by D ratio. We have to know the values. We have to take it to the design of data book. To the design of data book. So this is a data book we are available. So this is a data book which is available. MD Jalaluddin. You follow these students. Okay. MD Jalaluddin textbook is given. So here you can calculate all these data book values. Even what are the formulas I said, you can take in the data book. Now the first one, we have to find the L by D ratio. As I discussed, the L by D ratio is important. So now I am going to find the L by D ratio. So in the chapter 19, the chapter 19 belongs to the bearings. The chapter 19 in this book, the chapter 19 belongs to bearings. So that is exactly hydro. Here it is clearly I am mentioning the hydrodynamic bearings. Here the chapter 19. From there, they are going to calculate the L by D ratio. So see here, clearly he mentioned this for the centrifugal pump in initially. So lot of there here centrifugal pump, marine, steam engines and rotary, all there. So in this, we are going to find the L by D ratio. Where the L by D ratio is there, the L by D ratio is located at the last. L by D is located at the last, and the value is 1.122. So L by D ratio is range is how much? 1 to 2, and the diameter clearance is C by D is given. So C by D clear is given, and the whatever the ZN by P value is given here, and directly is given in the question paper. And we will see everything. So the first one, what is the value we have to take? The L by D ratio is how much here? 1 to 2. So we are considering that value. So for design general page, L by D equal to, I am taking in between the 1 to 2. So let us take, I am taking 1.5. I am taking the 1.5 value. So now here the D value is mentioned. The D value is how much here? 100 mm is mentioned. So L by, so simply 100 into 1.5, you will get L equal to 150 mm. So the length of the shaft is given how much? 150 mm. Now we are going to calculate the bearing pressure. What is the second step? The second step is bearing pressure. So bearing pressure, I am writing here. Small p equal to W by L times D. L times D. So what is the value? Your load is given. The problem 20 into 10 power 3 by L is how much? The length is how much here? 150 mm. 150 into D is how much here? 100. So you will get some value, that is W by D into L by D. That is the value you are getting is 1.3. 1.3. 1.3 Newton per millimeter square. You calculate it, still you are getting some other answer. Then we will again you try to give the reply in my channel. So 1.33 into Newton per meter square. So yeah, the whatever the pressure is there, the pressure is getting 1.33. Now, this design is safe or not? Whether we need to confine that, again we have to follow the data book. So the pressure, whatever the pressure is get, the pressure is got 1.33, and here for this centrifugal pump, for this centrifugal pump, for the centrifugal pump, see here the allowable pressure is given here. The allowable pressure for centrifugal pump is mentioned clearly. The allowable pressure, it is the ranging between 0.7 to 1.4 Newton per millimeter square. The units are see 1.33. Whatever the answer is there, the answer is 1.33 Newton per millimeter square is there. So here also we are convinced with this solution. So it is in safe condition. So whatever the answer is there, whatever the answer is there, the answer is safe. 0.7 to 1.4 is there. So we are following safe design. So the pressure, whatever pressure is there, the pressure is accepted. Next, the ZN by P value is given. What is the third step we need to follow? What is the third step we required? That is heat dissipation. Before going to the heat dissipation, heat generation, again we have to calculate the mu value. So what is mu value? Mu value is how much? 33. The mu value also indicated here. See, the mu value is indicated in the data book, that is 33.25 into. So you go for the page number 19.3. 19.3. The mu value is indicated here. This is the mu value indicated here. The mu value is given. The mu value is showing. I am showing here the mu value. Write down that mu value. That is 33.25 into 10 power 8 into Zn by P into D by C. That's it. Okay. So this is the problem. Now, 33 by I am substituting the values. So the delta P value is given roughly as 28 times. 33.25 into 10 power 8 into 28. Plus D is nothing but the diameter of the shaft, and C is nothing but the radial clearance. They have diameter clearance. Diameter clearance is given. So in the earlier we are discussing the C by D. So because the D is how much? 100. Whatever the diameter is, the diameter of the shaft is given how much? D equal to 100 mm. So I am writing 100. Now what is diameter clearance? The formula is there. What is diameter clearance? CD equal to capital D minus small d. Capital D minus small d. So here I can write this value into 2CR. So and the finally see this diameter clearance also mentioned in the problem, that is 0.1 mm. So I am substituting directly this 0.1 here plus K. K is nothing but the correction factor. Again, for correction factor, you have to see the data book. So the data book is a. So go to the page number. Just wait. The page number is 19.24 in the Jalaluddin. In the Jalaluddin, you go for 19.24 page and see the correction factor. This is the correction factor. So the L by D ratio is how much? 1.5 is given. The L by D ratio is how much? This is the correction factor. This is 0. This is 1, and it is 2. And the L by D ratio is touching the whatever the curve is there. The curve is going to touch on which line? From 0 to 0.005. Whatever the curve is there, this is a 1 and this is 2. The L by D ratio. This is the bottom. The x-axis will indicate L by D ratio, and the y-axis will indicate the K factor. So here I am taking L by D ratio is located in between the 1 to 2. So this is 1.5 here, and the 1.5 is touching here exactly the curve. So the whatever the wherever the curve is touching, go that x-axis. So this is the 0 above line just. So the above line is 0 above is here we are having 0.005. So you are taking in between that. So it may be around 0.0025. So I am showing to you. So this is 0.005, and this is the midline we have to calculate. So that is 0.0025 value we have to calculate. Okay, so this is the value we have to calculate. So mu equal to we are getting how much? K factor is how much? 0.025 is the correction factor we have to calculate. So after calculating this total value, you may get around. I am directly giving the answers. What is the answer? That is 0.0. 0.01131. 0.031. So this total value will get 0.093 something like that, and this value. Don't sum it, you will get the mu value. Now you also calculated the mu value. Now we have to go for the heat generation. So what is the heat generation? Heat generation formula is Hg equal to mu into W into V. This is also available in the data book. So you follow the data book and write it directly. So I know the formula. That's why I write directly. Now HG, the fourth step. What is the fourth step? The fourth step is the heat generation. HG. HG equal to mu into W into V. So the mu value just now we have calculated. That is how much? 0.01131 into what's the W value? Load value 20 into 10 power 3, and V is nothing but the velocity. The velocity shaft. So pi into D is nothing but the diameter. So 100 is there, 100 mm is there. You have to convert it to millimeters. So that is 0.1 into N. N value is given how much? 1440. N value is given how much? 1440 RPM. 1440 RPM by 60. So by this you will get the HG value. The heat generation should be around whatever the heat generation is there. The heat generation should, you are getting 1658 watts. 1658.7 watts. 1658.7 watts. Now we have to calculate the heat dissipation also. Whether we require artificial cooling or not. So know that also we are finding the HD value. That is heat dissipation. Heat dissipation is equal to C into A. C times A times direct temperature minus atmosphere temperature. This is also available in your data book, so you can easily copy it and do the problem. So C value is given how much? The coefficient of energy dissipation is 87.5. 87.5 is mentioned here, and the collected air is nothing but N/D. So that is 0.15 into 0.1 into ambient temperature. What is the ambient temperature? Ambient temperature. So the vapor temperature is given how much? 75 degrees. 75 minus, I am writing downside. 75 minus 30. 30 is given. So 30 degrees is given. So by this you are going to calculate the HD value. Heat dissipated equal to whatever the answer is there. So the answer is around 59 watts, 59.063 watts. Now simply you have to calculate for artificial cooling, you have to calculate HD minus HD, then you will get the artificial cooling. So artificial cooling, you have writing here, you have to calculate this artificial cooling formula, then you will get the answer, artificial cooling. So these are the steps are required to design the general engineering problem. So remember these 5 steps and it is easy. I hope you understand and thank you.